You want to live cheap in the western section of the United States? Keep watching. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to The World According to Briggs and another video on where you can live in the United States for under $1,500. I say in the United States because there's plenty of countries in this world where you could live on $1,500 for like 5 years and have some change left over. This is the second video in this series. If this is your first time to this series, I'll give you the rundown on why we came up with $1,500. Plenty of Americans are going into retirement where their only source of income is a monthly check from the Social Security Administration, which is in the neighborhood of $1,500 a month on average. The average worker in the United States makes about double that, around $3,000, and if you retire from the military after 20 years, you see about $2,500 a month if you're enlisted, and about $4,700 a month if you're commissioned, meaning an officer. So the lowest being $1,500. If you slip into any of those categories, which most of you should fall into one of them, today's list is about towns in the western United States where you only need about $1,500 a month to live comfortably. Let's see what we found. Number 10, Abilene, Texas. Almost 3 hours west of Dallas, you have the city of Abilene. Established as a cattle shipping point on the Texas and Pacific Railway in 1881, the city was named after Abilene, Kansas. Abilene has just over 100,000 residents and a livability score of 76 that's out of 100. It's had a better livability score in the past, but they've lost some jobs in recent years, so this is probably better suited for the retiree types or people that work remotely. Rent in Abilene will run you about $810 a month for a one bedroom. You'll need about $1,490 to live here comfortably. They barely made the cutoff. They have a little crime, but nothing crazy. Their heat can get up there, but not terrible. Number 9, AMMON, Idaho. AMMON is a suburb near the foothills and really sort of in the foothills on the east side of Idaho Falls. This is a nice, safe town that I'd recommend to anyone thinking about moving to Idaho. I know 2 different couples that moved here years ago from California, like in the early 2000s. The couple that I still talk to said that it's great and they wish they would have moved there sooner. The other couple I don't talk to anymore because the guy owes me money. Never loan a friend money. Give them the money if you can before you loan it to them, because in the end, you're just probably going to lose a friend and your money. AMMON has a livability score of 87, and the rent on average for a one-bedroom apartment is $781. That's not bad. You only need $1,470 to live comfortably in this jewel of the gem state. I'm going to copyright that, jewel of the gem state, before their tourism people grab that. Number 8, BLYTHE, California. Yeah, you heard me right. I said California. But BLYTHE isn't the California you see on TV. This is in the middle of the desert, and actually it's straight out the 10 on the Arizona border. So yeah, it's a little bit out there in the California outback. BLYTHE isn't my cup of tea because I hate the heat, and BLYTHE has a lot of heat. Like your fake eyelashes will melt off your face type heat. That's how one girl explained it. The best part of BLYTHE is the Colorado River. It's right there, runs right along town. It separates California from Arizona. So that gives you a lot to do. A lot of people there are river people. It's a river town. BLYTHE feels like a small town even though it has over 20,000 residents. The only real knock, if you don't mind the heat I should say, is they don't have any jobs. They just don't. There's none out there. This is a retirement place, or like I said, it's probably best suited for people working remotely or retired types. The good news is rent here is only $714 a month on average for a one bedroom, and you're only going to need $1,465 to live comfortably in BLYTHE. Their livability is kind of low at 67, and that's because of the job thing, and their schools aren't the best. That's according to a couple different websites. Number 7. CLARKSTON, Washington. Now we're getting into some cheap rent. Clarkston was first settled in 1862 and was officially incorporated on August 14, 1902. The name Clarkston is a reference to William Clark of the Lewis and Clark expedition. Right across the Snake River in Idaho to the east is Lewiston, Idaho, named after Meriwether Lewis. I love that. That's like this little cool piece of geographical trivia of the United States. Now, they have about 7,500 residents living in this little town on the Snake River, and they all really seem to like it. The livability score is 73, and you only need $1,425 a month to live here. A one-bedroom apartment will only set you back $655 a month. Number 6, Del Rio, Texas. Del Rio, Texas is a solid option for anyone that doesn't mind the desert life. It is a really great option for the military retirees that might be watching this. Laughlin Air Force Base is just to the east of Del Rio. So if you've got PX and commissary privileges, life is even cheaper for you. The livability score here is outstanding. It's 84, with the job market being the only knock. It's not terrible, it's just not great. Now here's the good news. Rent for a one-bedroom apartment in Del Rio is only $633 a month on average. That's cheap. You only need $1,410 a month to live comfortably in Del Rio. Mexico's not too far from there, right across the Rio Grande. There's some farmland in between the Rio Grande and Del Rio. It's a nice place. I've been through there on the train. I have a friend from there, military friend. He still lives there. Actually, he lives out by the lake now, but he grew up there. He loved it. I think mostly loved it because his family was there, but it's a nice city. Number 5, Burley, Idaho. Burley is about an hour east of Twin Falls on the Snake River. This is another river town. They always have something going on the Snake River here. Just so you know, this part of the river is very calm, almost lake-like. It gets a little crazy after the dams they have downriver with rapids and waterfalls and all that nonsense. Around Burley, this is a great place for like boating, wakeboarding type things. Burley has a little over 10,000 residents and a 79 livability score. Rent on average here is $620 a month. You'll need about $1,400 to live comfortably in Burley. That's not bad at all. They have very little crime in Burley and plenty of things to do. Number 4, Pendleton, Oregon. Pendleton is one of the better towns in eastern Oregon. This is the part of Oregon that doesn't have many trees, baristas, protesters, or much rain. They get rain, don't get me wrong, just not nearly as much as the Portland area does. This is a great little eastern Oregon city. They have almost 17,000 residents, and most of their stats are pretty good. Their employment isn't the best, and their schools aren't the greatest, but they've got plenty of things to do. The cost of living is really cheap, and they don't have much crime. It'll run you $615 a month to rent a one-bedroom here, and what you need to survive here and live comfortably is only $1,400. Number 3, Hawthorne, Nevada. Now, we've talked about Hawthorne before, and a subscriber named Carlos Hernandez reminded me of this place, so I looked it up, and it fits the criteria for this in a big way. It has a military base called the Hawthorne Army Depot right outside of town. That's the main source of income for the town, the base. It's where everyone works, the ones that do work. They also have Walker Lake, which is why we talked about it before. Supposedly, there's a secret alien base entrance below the surface of the lake. Yeah, I know, it's weird. There's apparently this whole network of tunnels where these aliens live there, and some guy who's an alien expert claimed he worked for the government and had a shootout with aliens underground one time, and that's how he lost his fingers. Or he was playing with fireworks. We're not really sure. Now, there's no apartments here, but homes rent for less than $800, and you can actually buy a livable home in Hawthorne for as low as $65,000. Yeah, if you buy one for $150,000, you're living like a king. You only need $1,290 a month to live in Hawthorne comfortably. Save up your money, because if you run into an alien, maybe you can purchase one of their laser guns from them. Number 2, San Luis, Arizona. This city was established in 1930 with the opening of a Mexico-U.S. border crossing. In the last 20 years, it has seen a serious population increase, going from just under 2,000 residents in 1980 to 20,000 in 2005. Right now, they're sitting on a little over 25,000 residents. Jobs are hard to come by in San Luis, and so are good schools. I guess, if you look at the stats. You look at some other stats, you realize that the crime rate is very low. Even though they keep finding tunnels from Mexico in the area, the crime rate is really low. It's actually 50% lower than the national average. Their violent crime rate is 90% lower than the national average. Now, if you want to live here, you better like the heat, and it's a very dry area of Arizona. Rent on average is about $590 a month, and if you want to live comfortably here, you only need $1,275. That's not bad. Put up with a little heat, live cheap. And before we get to number 1, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you already haven't, become a member of our little community here. It'd be really appreciated. Share this on your social media, all that good stuff. All right, on to number 1. And number 1, Brigham City, Utah. So I was going in a cheaper being the best until now. Brigham City is still cheap. It's not as cheap as, say, the last 3. It's just a great place to live, and that kind of overshadows it being a hair more expensive. North of Ogden, you have almost 20,000 people that call Brigham City home. This is a quiet town that has almost zero crime, great air quality, clean and well-maintained streets and houses, decent schools, and a low-cost living. If you're into bird watching, that's a big thing here. Brigham City gets a livability score of 75. Rent will set you back about $620 a month on average, and the average person only needs about $1,310 to live comfortably here. This is my top pick for the best places under $1,500 in the western states. So what was your favorite? Let us know in the comment section below. Alright, that's our list. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Don't forget all the links below, like I said before. Give the video a big thumbs up. Tell me what you thought about the list. Which section of the country should we do next? Everybody have a great day. Be nice to each other.